value engineering reports required at every stage of the project and with every deliverable. We will be cost estimating and scheduling as part of your design program in here, and there will be engineer and architect opinion of probable cost and time required at the various stages of submittal. The city wishes this facility to achieve gold level sustainability. Whether or not we actually apply and obtain the certification will be an option on the project, but they wanted to achieve the sustainability level. Additionally, another kind of special item that's in the scope is a study on the operations and maintenance and a requirement to provide a sinking fund recommendation for major equipment and major maintenance on the facility and all of its systems throughout the life cycle of the project. So with that, you'll have the phase one of the project is the conceptual design, and that includes environmental support through the EIR process. The city does have an environmental consultant already on board, and there's a draft EIR pending right now, pending input from the architect to develop the final concept plan to move that forward. Then we'll move on to schematic design development, and as part of the schematic and design development phases, we're looking at possibly implementing an early demolition phase on the project to expedite the overall schedule of the project. Phase 2 will then be to develop the construction documents, and phase 3 will be design services during construction. Next on the agenda is the instruction and the format requirements for the SOQ. I'm not going to go through in painstaking detail. I trust that you all are able to read because you made it here. But you need one original and 5 copies, an electronic PDF file. You can either submit that on a CD or a flash drive. You want to make sure you follow the specific labeling instructions so that it doesn't get lost in the shuffle down there. The city has a lot going on. So we want to make sure that your proposals end up in the right office once they get in there. And then make sure you adhere to the format requirements and don't deviate from that, so you don't end up losing any points on the evaluation. This is a qualifications-based selection process for this project. Do not submit any rates. Do not submit any pricing with your qualifications. The firms will be shortlisted down to some percentage of the total number that we get. It will depend on how the level of quality in comparison to the various firms. The evaluation will be based on the qualifications of the team, as well as their overall approach and their experience at building similar facilities. We will then notify all the firms that are shortlisted and invite them for interviews, and then we will do a final ranking, and the #1 firm will then be asked to submit a price. That firm we will conduct negotiations with, and if both parties feel that we can come to a fair and reasonable price, then we'll move forward with that firm. If not, we'll move on to the second ranked firm. All right, the schedule for the SOQ for your SOQ submittal. We're here at the pre-SOQ meeting now. The deadlines for submitting written questions is the 20th, which is a week from tomorrow. We will get you answers back to all those questions no later than January 3rd, and then you'll be submitting your SOQs on January 17th. Following right after that, we're going to jump right into our evaluations. We've already got the evaluation team schedule locked down for this, so we are aggressively making sure that we're going to adhere to the schedule. And you will have your notifications of shortlist by the end of the week of January 24th. We will interview the following week, and then enter fee negotiations with the #1 ranked firm shortly thereafter, and then press for the council award as soon as possible right after that. So we will entertain some questions with the disclaimer that anything we answer verbally here today is non-binding, and you would need to submit any questions that you want official answers to in writing by the deadline date, and then we'll put out questions. We'll put out answers by addenda for that. These minutes will be sent out as part of the first agenda as well. I would like to pause before questions and just have everybody in the room stand up real quickly. Tell us your name, the firm, and whether you're a prime or a sub, and if you're right over here. Okay.
Keith Collins, Fisher Partners Architects, front.
This is Ann Taki, she's our purchasing agent for the project. So you'll be communicating directly with Ann, and then she'll forward all the questions out to the respective team members, and we'll collaborate and answer in the agenda process. So if we have any questions that anybody wants to ask.
Really non-binding, but Dino, would you tell us your last name and your company again?
Dino D'Amelia, is D-E-M, is in Michael, I-L-I-A, and our firm is Anderson Penna Partners, Incorporated.
Thank you very much.
Any other non-binding questions?
Public art, are you looking for us to propose specific artists, or are you looking for us to propose a public art consultant to help in the selection process?
It's my understanding from the city that we want you to propose an artist, to actually propose the concept that you want to include in the, or at least the artist's theme that they want to include in your solution.
On the lead option, I guess, will that be decided early, I hope?
Yeah, it'll be part of the concept design. It'll need to be included as far as, the facility is going to need to be designed to achieve all the LEED goal sustainability requirements. Whether or not we actually go through the process with LEED to do all the accounting and tracking and actually achieve the certification will be a cost-benefit type of an analysis that we'll ask for up front from you. We'll also going to need to include that with our CM consultant that will be starting early part of next year. So that we'll need to have that monitoring as part of that contract as well.
Quick question, as part of the services, will the design team bring on the commissioning authority, or that be done by you?
That'll be part of the design team. Yeah. If we go with the LEED, full LEED commissioning requirement, we get the certification, then it would be part of the architect team. It would be part of the certification.
Even if they choose not to, will they still have the commissioning authority?
Possibly. We're going to look for your recommendations on that during the process.
Can you provide a sense of how much the 62 million is part of the construction cost? Probably not.
Ballpark,
Yeah.
non-binding.
Yes.
About 45 million.
Sorry, go back to lead, thinking about consultants. It's one thing to design it, but I guess the point is that what I understood from the RFP is that the city consultant would be the lead consultant.
We will probably include the LEED tracking in the CM component, because at that point we'll know for sure which way we're going to go. So yes, the actual tracking consultant that will do the LEED certification will be part of the separate contract.
You call out public outreach and stakeholder involvement. Is that just to create a plan, or is it to actually do the outreach?
You'll work hand in hand collaboratively with the city, but the architect's going to be very involved in public outreach to develop consensus with the stakeholders to make sure that we have a facility that everybody buys into. So it'll be a collaborative effort with the city, but it'll all go through the city. And the city will take the actual lead on bringing the folks together and the architect that can select what we need to have. We need to show consensus building approach and success in that in a similar public setting, public facility setting.
Will HVAC be part of the gold process? Air conditioning?
I'm sorry, HVAC?
Well, HVAC, will that be part of
To achieve goal, that will probably have to be, yeah. Is that it? I saw another game going on, they must have answered their question.
Early demo, can you elaborate a little bit on that? Why you're trying to get it?
Well, the demolition phase is going to take up, several months of the actual construction schedule. We could actually, while we're finishing the design, if we were to package the demolition element separately, we could make up that time during the final design and permitting process of the final facility. We're looking at making up that time. Potentially, we may actually look at saving you more time doing that earlier. Part of that reason is also to find out all the unknowns and uncover as much as possible before we put the final contract out to bid. It just, it's the best potholing you can have if you can clear the site. So that's kind of the thought process there. And we think we can save, 3 to 6 months in the overall construction process by parallel tracking that portion of the project.
Can you confirm the targeted completion date? Because the RFQ said one thing and the initial study said another. There seems to be a conflict there.
The RFQ per the February 2013 council meeting, I believe, the current target is end of 15.
15?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the current target. Anybody else? All right.
The last one, what's the intended delivery on the back end? Is this gonna be just delivered, once it's designed, or are you guys looking at different delivery methods for contracts? Any sense of that?
This is a design bid build. Okay, work contract.
Or changes in dispute, pardon. Are changes in dispute.
Yes, because we're gonna have currently the temporary pools in the existing parking lot, so the site includes the parking lot. No parking structure. It's not in the program.
Coastal Commission.
And maybe just be part of the site tour that it's not built yet, so that you made a comment about the temporary facilities might be part of the permanent facilities. Do you have a handle on what that project is?
The temporary facility is a Murtha pool system, so there are components of it that are modular that can be reused. So we're looking to reuse as much of it as possible and phase that into the delivery of the overall project.
What's the depth of that pool?
I'm sorry?
What's the depth? What's the wall depth?
The depth of the water depth there is, I think, 6.5 to 3.5.
So they've got 2 meter panels all the way around?
I'm sorry? Okay, I
Are
couldn't
the
hear.
side panels all 2 meter?
They said 1 meter to 3.5 to 6.5.
Yeah, and the as-built plans are included with the RFQ, and we've got it set out here for you to gaze through if you'd like. We're not gonna be able to get on that site because they're going elbows and everything else to try to get that facility closed out.
Is the size of the pool fixed?
No. That's gonna be part of the program development. There are some options that we need to work out, and
As
that's.
far as the square footage, I mean, not just square footage.
No. Now, there's some options to, based on the varying competition requirements and recreation requirements, that we want to bring this team on board to maximize all the opportunities and factor in all the different stakeholder concerns and come up with an overall approach that achieves as much as is feasibly possible.
Very detailed background is included in the February 2013 City Council action. So that was included as an exhibit in the RFQ.
We want to bring on the design expertise to help settle that, to help settle the dimensions of the overall facility, the aquatics, components, et cetera, to basically bring the best thinking in-house to get the best product.
The reason I asked is that impacts HVAC significantly.
Sure. And everything else. All right. I won't shut off when we get over there. If you come up with questions, I'll still answer them in a non-binding manner when we get over there. Why don't we go ahead and just safely